Hi everyone, Lene with Bloom Feather Studio here. I thought it'd be fun to do something easy and colorful today. This is a cone flower in the shape of a triangle, and there are a lot of different cone flowers out there: lilacs, hydrangeas, butterfly bush. This would be fun to add a butterfly to it at some point. So the colors I'm using today are going to be just or actually four colors. This horizon blue from Holbein, and you can use just a cerulean blue or another light blue. And then I'm going to use my favorite quinacridone purple from Daniel Smith, and some lemon yellow. This is Winsor Newton, but any pale yellow will work. You can also change the colors too. You could do like a different, like pink, light pink, dark pink, or maybe start out orange and go toward the pink. Here's what they look like together. So I'm going to be mixing these two, the purple and the blue, and then hooker green is what's pictured on here with some lemon yellow, but any darker green that's not too blue will work. Okay. I'm just going to be using one brush. This is a really not expensive set of brushes that you can get. It's Dugato, it says. It's really cheap, not expensive. This is size 18. They come in all different sizes. I can show you some of them. So they come in different, small, really small. This one's really small. All the way up through in the 20s. So this is 22, and they're really fun to use. They're kind of stiff, so they don't bend as much. They bend a little bit, but they're pretty stiff. So if you like a stiffer brush with more snap, you'll have fun with these. Okay, so here's what the flower looks like this, kind of like a hazy, sunlit flower. Some of it is, some of the petals are darker, and then some of them are light. Okay, so let's get started. I haven't really talked to you much about paper. I don't get too hung up on paper, better quality, not as good quality. I use a lot of cheap quality paper because I use so much of it, and you probably do too. My favorite cheap paper is, let me find some, is that one. It's Strathmore. Here we go. I'll show you. It's Strathmore watercolor. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this. I really like it. It works well if you want to use a lot of water and you want things to flow around. But when I'm doing my tutorials, I try to step it up a little bit and use the 100% cotton paper. So this one I get on Amazon. It's cheaper than the stuff that everybody uses. This is called Art and Fly. It's a little cheaper than other 100% cotton paper, and I really like it. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to use water. So in order to get this really hazy look, abstract look, I like to add water first. So I'm just going to kind of in the shape of the cone, I'm going to just put in some just dots of water. So kind of in this direction, just a couple dots here and there. I'm just going to do the one flower first, and then I'll add the other one later. Okay, and then maybe even a couple of sprinkles of water. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out, this is leftover paint from another project. So I'm just going to use it. It's a little bit of a mess. So on one side of my filbert brush, I'm going to put some purple. And on the other side, so I'm going to flip it over, I'm going to put some blue. So it has purple on one side and blue on the other. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna start at the bottom, and I'm gonna make like maybe a 4-petal flower like this. And it's gonna hit those maybe 5 petals. It doesn't really matter too much. It's just gonna hit those water sprinkles and marks that I put in there, and it's gonna fade out really nicely. So then you just keep going. Add some more purple and more blue. Keep going. And just add marks. So at the bottom it's wider. So I kind of got a wide start here. And then I'm going to start getting more narrow as I go up. I hit that water that I put on there. Okay. Just like that. And then I'm also going to add a little bit more water here. So I rinsed off my brush. I'm just kind of tapping in a little bit of water. Okay, now at the top, grab some lemon yellow. And I'm going to add lemon yellow here and there, especially where it's, oh, that's a little much. Let me take that off. Okay, especially where there's little, oh, this lemon yellow is a little brown. Let me get some cleaner lemon yellow. Just tap in some yellow here and there. And then at the very top, I'm going to turn my brush on my side. I'm going to add a little bit of green to it. Just a little bit of green. I'm going to turn my brush on my side. Let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to do like more sideways petals. So like that. And then also there are stems coming down. So more towards the center, I'm going to just add a few like dots of this green yellow to make stems. Okay, I'm going to come back in here. Oops, I'm cleaning off my brush. I'm going to get some more blue because I have a lot of purple, and I'm just going to tap it in different places. I'm going to grab some purple. Maybe I'll do the purple on one side, blue on the other. And I'm just going to hit the edges of these petals a little bit. Put some color in here, especially at the bottom. Cleaning off my brush, mixing it in a little bit. Just play with it, add color, but at a certain point, it's good to stop. So I'm going to stop on that one. I'm going to add a stem. So I'm going to take some hooker's green and some lemon yellow. So like, that's a little too green. Okay, and then I'm going to curve the stem around a little bit. Okay. we're gonna leave that. And now I'm gonna start on, I'm gonna spray some water like this. So I cleaned off my brush, just gonna add a few drops of water. Okay. Take some of this color off here. And now I'm going to add another stem coming out here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, I'm going to go ahead and put some dots of water. I'm going to curve this stem around like this. Yeah, I think like, and go ahead and like join it up with the bottom of this one like that. So get rid of that water. Okay. Now I'm gonna fill my brush up with purple and blue. I'm gonna start at the base, and some of this base will join in with the other one. I'm rinsing my brush off. I'm gonna grab some lemon yellow with a tiny touch of green to it. And I'm gonna do the top. So I want the top to be pointing not in the same direction. So curving it around a little bit. I'm just gonna, I don't have a lot of paint on my brush, so I'm gonna add some more petals, just really light hazy ones. And then make the base. I'm gonna go over here and kind of mess these guys up a little bit by adding water. Maybe a little more yellow. So it's pointing more in that direction. I'm gonna go in with my paper towel, dab off some color here and there. Just to make sure it's nice and hazy. Okay. Okay, now let's add some leaves. The leaves are going to be really light, so we could maybe even just pull this color over a little bit. I'm going to make one going in this direction. So just pull the color. So I started out on the side of my brush, and then I twisted it so that, like this, so that it's flat. So then you probably can't see that leaf really well. I'll add a little bit of color to it. There, now I think you can see that. And then I'm just gonna grab a little more color, but very watery brush. I'm gonna put another stem over here. So start on the side and then make it fatter. So that pulled in some purple, that's okay. I'm just gonna add a little bit more green to that right here. There we go. Okay, so we have 2 stems. Let's make one kind of behind the flower. So I'm gonna try not to touch all that, too much of that purple, but it's okay. I guess it did. That's okay. I'm gonna add some yellow so it looks like a stem. Okay. Gonna just add some water here and there just to shape it a little bit. And this flower doesn't look as good until the next day. So you'll see when you do this, you'll see, oh my goodness, this is so pretty once it dries completely. So withhold your judgment of your flower, of your painting until the next day, because it's not as pretty until it dries completely. So I'll show you this tomorrow. And I also show you if there's anything I want to change, if I want to add some color here and there, we can certainly do that. And I'll show that to you tomorrow. I will, what I do is I re-wet it before with just plain water, and then I just tap in color where I want more color. So for this one, do you see how there's like darker color here and here? And then I went in and I added a little bit more color up top just to kind of add more dimension to it. So I'll show you that tomorrow. So I'll let this dry and sit, and then I'll come back tomorrow and show it to you. Okay, so now it's the next day, and I'm looking at this now, and I want to make a couple of changes. There's some like lines right here that I want to maybe add some color here, maybe here too. I don't really like the lines here, and this, I'll show you what it looks like. Right. And this one, see, I don't like those lines. So I'm just gonna add some clear water to the parts I want to change here and there. I like how there's kind of a dark streak and then a lighter streak. It kind of looks like the sun is shining down on it there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit of purple and add it here and here. Just kind of wet the whole petal so that it bleeds nicely. And then maybe add a little blue to it. There, that looks good. Just gonna go through and add a little color here and there. Not too much. I'm gonna add a little yellow to the parts that I want it to look like sun shine. Just play around with it a little bit, but not too much. Okay, that looks good. So I'll just let that dry and see how it looks. I'm just going to show it to you up close here. Thanks so much for watching and for subscribing. I would love to hear your questions and your comments. Some of you have reached out to me on Instagram to ask me questions, and I love that, or to show me your paintings. I love that too. You can comment below. You can post and tag me on Instagram at Bloom Feather Studio. Have a great day. Have fun painting. Bye-bye.